All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers, and we are live on Clubhouse. We are also live in the e-commerce planning Facebook group, so you can join us there. Today, we are talking about your weekly planning. Um, Planning for your business, planning for your business's future success is extremely important to me. So I hope that you'll find this information helpful. We're going to step through these activities and we're going to define or set up some goals. So, again, my name is Nicole Whitlock, and this is my passion helping people on their journey to building $1 million e commerce businesses. And if you find this information helpful, you can connect with me on Facebook, which is where I am most of the time, in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. You can also find me inside of eCom Sellers Academy. And if you don't have an e-commerce planner, you can grab one at www.myecomplanner.com. Again, www.myecomplanner.com. So if you want to follow along, there is actually a worksheet that is in that I'm broadcasting in the e-commerce planning Facebook group, and we will step through establishing your goals for the upcoming week. The one thing I do want to point out is in this upcoming week, it is the end of Q1, the start of Q2. So the end of Q1, start of Q2, sort of a big deal. And there is still time for you to reach your goals, to reach your objectives for Q1, whatever those goals are. If you are still needing to do a little bit more product research, maybe you need to get some listings up, maybe you need to do some more sourcing. I don't know what method of e commerce that you're doing, whether you are doing um, retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, wholesale, print on demand, drop shipping. I have no idea what your method of e-commerce is. And I don't know which platforms. You could be selling on Amazon, eBay, Etsy, Shopify, Walmart. All of that does not matter to me. It is the activities that you do, whatever platform you're selling on, the activities that you do every single day that are going to move the needle in your e-commerce business, the types of product research you do, the types of the listing activities that you do, just knowing what your daily stats are, that information is going to help you to make better decisions in the future. So, my goal is to help you on that journey. So, as we talk about the fact that we're at the end of Q1, we're starting Q2. This next week that we're planning actually is focused on that transition from the end of Q1 to the beginning of Q2. So there is a monthly planning session. That monthly planning session is tomorrow at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, because we always have a monthly planning session right before the new month starts. So the new month is at the end of the week, Friday, April Fool's Day. I know. Um, so let's do everything that we can Monday through Thursday or Sunday through Thursday to really kind of move the needle in our business and help the things happen that are going to make a difference in the future. With that being said, anytime that you want to connect with me for a one-on-one coaching session, you can definitely do that by going to Ecom Sellers Academy, or actually go to ecomsellers.com, and then there is a button for coaching. You can click on that and schedule a free 20-minute coaching session. I would be happy to help you look at your daily schedule and see what adjustments or suggestions I have that might help you increase your productivity, help you make better data-driven decisions in your business, and help you to improve your consistency. So, with that being said, this is our weekly planning session. And in the weekly planning session, what we are doing is we are focusing on the activities that we need to do in our business to plan out the next week. So, I'm going to start with the basics. We're going to do the reverse of what I normally do. Normally, I talk about what are the goals and activities that you need to focus on, so that when you build your weekly template, you know exactly where the activities are going to go. Well, this time I'm actually going to talk about the weekly template first. We're going to look at an example of a weekly template. And then from there, we're going to move forward into talking about the goals. So we're going to do the reverse. So the first thing is we're going to build a weekly template. So that weekly template is sort of your reference, your guide for the week. It is the things that you're going to be doing, activities and actions that you do in your business, or you need to do in your business, in your life, that happen on a regular basis. Things that you know that you want to do or that you need to do, or maybe those are things, like I said, that you already do on a regular basis. So, an example of that is, you're going to have some activities around your personal life. You always want to make sure that if your problem is procrastination, wasting time, not taking advantage of the time that we have, because we know time is finite. Time is very finite. So we want to focus on the things that the time that we have and use it wisely, so that we can move this needle in our business. Let's get this thing going. Let's build this $1 million empire. So we go and look at what are the things that we're already doing. Well, you probably have some activities that you do either around spiritual or meditation, whatever those happen to be. So you might be going to church every single week. Maybe you go to Bible study every single week. Whatever those activities are, we want to make a note of those. And you can do a brain dump using Google. I recommend it because with Google, you can carry, meaning using your Google Drive. Inside of Google Drive, there are Google Docs and Google Sheets. The great thing about Google Docs and Google Sheets when you build this out is that you can access them anywhere from a mobile device. So if you go on vacation, you can look at your weekly template from there. If you're sitting in a doctor's office waiting for your appointment, you can look at your Google Sheets from there. Waiting for the kids outside of school after track, after track practice, while you're sitting in the car, you can open up your Google Sheets from there. So you can always reference your Google Sheets from anywhere. That's what I love about that. All you have to do is go to your app store and download Google Drive. And you can also download the Google Sheets, either one, or Google Docs. So then that way, if you have a Gmail account, up in the upper right-hand corner is I call them the Rubik's Cube. It's the 9 dots that are grouped together. If you click on that, you will see an option when you click on the 9 dots of the Rubik's Cube from your Gmail account. You will see an option for Google Drive. And so you just move your mouse or select Google Drive, and then you'll be able to access it. If you install Google Drive directly, so you have to have a Gmail account first as a starting point. If you don't have one, I suggest you go create one. And then if you install the Google Drive, then you'll be able to get to any of the documents that are on your Google Drive. But if you just want to install Google Sheets and Google Docs on your mobile device, that's fine too. Those are two ways in which you can get to these documents that you're about to build. So we are going to start with a brain dump. We're going to start with a list of things and activities. So let me go back to some of the activities you may already be doing in your life. Like these are things that already happened. So we're trying to regain control of the time where we're spending time, where we're wasting time, where we have opportunities to invest that time in a different way or spend it better, like not waste it, vegging out or getting sucked into the social media vortex. So spiritual activities, maybe you do meditation every single morning. Maybe you are a person that gets up and meditates, or maybe you read the Bible, or maybe you go to church every Sunday, or maybe you go to Bible study on Wednesdays or Thursdays or whatever. So we put that on the list of spiritual activities because, again, we're regaining control of where we're spending or wasting time. The second one is personal. There may be a lot of personal activities that you have that are generic or vague, or there could be some that are focused and intentional. So one of them might be personal development. Maybe one of the things that you want to start doing, maybe it's not something you already do. Because again, you have the already doing, need to do, want to do. So maybe one of the things that you want to do or you feel like you need to do is personal development. Sitting down and reading every single day a personal development book, or watching a personal development video, or listening to a personal development podcast. Like that may be something that you want to start doing, or you feel like you need to start doing to adjust your mindset. And that's okay. Like those are great things to invest time in. So they're going to help you long term. If you go and follow the stories of these multimillionaires and multi-billionaires, that is one of the things that they commit to, is they commit to personal development time. So putting it on your schedule, if that's the path that you are seeking to go down, definitely make time for your personal development. Other personal activities is maybe just going to lunch with a friend, maybe some time alone for yourself, a spa day, anything that you feel is deeply personal that's not related to any spiritual or household or family related activities. The next is financial. So I know different people invest in like different things. They might invest in Bitcoin, which is the big thing, and or cryptocurrency, blockchain, all of that stuff. Maybe you are committing time to that already, and that's one of the things that you want to make time for. Maybe you have some other bigger activities that you're making time for every single week, like in your personal schedule, on your personal budget. Maybe one of the things that you feel like you need to do or want to do for yourself personally is to build a budget for your personal life, for your household, and keeping track of where your finances are spent. So that's a reconciliation activity that you maybe need to incorporate into your weekly planning. Um, Maybe there are times where you know you're going to be going by the bank. If you own a brick and mortar, you've got to stop by the bank. And so you've got to deal with bank transactions. Some of the other personal stuff, sorry, financial stuff that may come up may be specific to different times, vary each week. So an example might be one maybe that you're working on building a house or finding a house. So you've got to do some. You have an appointment this week, but maybe not anytime in the future. It's a one-time deal where you're going to go close on your house, or maybe you're saving for a car, and so now it's time for you to actually go buy the car. That kind of stuff, big ticket items that you may need to, manage your finances around. So having time on your schedule to do that and to regain control of your finances as you're working to regain control of where you're spending time, that's a good thing as well. Um, Fitness and health, you may have some activities that you do every single week or you feel like you need to do every single week. That's going to be beneficial in the future. Now, when I keep saying need, um, here's the deal: anything that is going to simplify your life, improve your life, streamline your life, automate your life, or reduce the stress in your life, those are important activities. Those are extremely important activities. Things that are going to, in some way, improve aspects of your life or your business, you need to make time for those things. So, health and fitness may be one of those things that right now it is not a priority for you. You are not focused on health and fitness. You are not engaging in anything. And so, maybe walking every single day or doing some meal prep, those are things that you want to make time for. If you're a person that has some health challenges right now, and so you regularly see the doctor, what I want to encourage you to do is find a spot on your calendar where this is where you schedule the majority of your doctor's appointments, especially if you're a person that has kids and stuff like that. So having that time block to where you work towards, I know it doesn't always work out, trust me, I do. Um, you work towards creating a time block where this is when I want to schedule the majority of my recurring doctor's appointments, or this is where I want to schedule the whatever recurring family related activities. So for me and the boys, like I always try, I have two boys, two special needs sons. And so whenever we go to the doctor or dentist, I work to put that time on a Friday, and I try to put that sometime around Friday afternoon. That reduces the chance of, there's a lot of stuff that be happening at the school. And so I try to minimize the chance of disrupting their day and disrupting their school plan. So that's one of the things that I do. The other is I always, I try to schedule my own personal doctor's appointments. So I've been on this awesome journey. I'm being sarcastic when I say that. Recovering from COVID. And I had a doctor's appointment yesterday. I was very frustrated about that doctor's appointment. And because my lung capacity is not improved. I'm like, oh, come on. I was hoping that it would improve, but it didn't. It has not. So, again, whenever I schedule future appointments, my goal is to always put them on Friday so that way I'm good to go for those that doctor's appointment. So let me check real quick because last time I got into this and nobody could hear me. So I'm just going to double check to make sure that I have sound. I do. I do. Okay, yep, I do. Okay, so next. So you want to make sure that if you have health and fitness, one of the things that maybe one of your future goals or things that you feel like you need to do, definitely meal planning. Meal planning for me as an e-commerce seller has definitely saves you time, because then you're not prepping meals and cooking every single day. You prep like 3 or 4 big meals one day out of the week, and then you can spread that out. So you get more efficient in other areas of your business as you start to plan and become intentional. So one of the things that I make sure that I have time on my schedule is one for meal prep and meal planning. So that way we can prep meals or plan meals, build our meals for the week as a family. And I do that with my boys. Another is family and household. So family and household, there may be things that your kids are involved in. Maybe there are sports that they play games every Saturday morning, or maybe they, um, they're involved in, I don't know, the chess club, anything, debate, the band, drama, I don't know. But you got to make time for your kids if you have kids. If you don't have kids, some of the household or family and household things that you may put into this activity or that might be related to this category is, cleaning your house every single week. I can tell you, not doing a good job right now in that area for my house. Second, going to the grocery store and buying your groceries, or going to the department store to get new shoes or new socks or notebooks for the kids. Some of that stuff, like, you can order a bunch of it online. So maybe you just make time in your time block to purchase a bunch of stuff online and have it delivered to your house, so you don't have to, if you got a lot of kids or you just have little ones will take up more time than you can believe. You save some time and become more efficient by ordering your stuff online, just having dropped off at your house. That way you don't have to pack up the kids to go to the store, wrangle the kids at the store, and then come home and unload the car and wrangle the kids at the same time and put the stuff away. Like, it's just a lot. So, you could put a time block on there where you sit down and you intentionally order all your groceries and your household needs for the week, and anything that the kids need at this time. Oh gosh, I need to buy new socks or whatever it happens to be. So family and household can also be the time that you dedicate and commit to family time. Making sure that your kids know that they're important and that they're loved, or your loved one, if you don't have kiddos, just spending some time with them, because as part of this journey, making sure that you make time for the important people in your life is also important. And then last but not least, your business related activities. And there's a bunch under business, but those are, business related activities should be included on your weekly template. So as you step through this brain dump that you're going through, everything that you already do, things that you need to do, things that you want to do, um, you want to put those things on the list if this is the first time that you're building a weekly template. Okay. You can use a Google Doc just to write out the list, just like a regular old list. You don't have to do anything fancy. And the great thing about Google Doc is that it actually lets you, this is a Google Doc that I'm showing inside the e-commerce planning Facebook group. And the Google Doc actually will let you create little check boxes. I love it. So if you can see this on my screen, inside of Google Doc, the little the little bullet option, if you click on the triangle pointing down, you'll see that you have a checklist option. So that way, as you complete a task or as you mark things off the list, as you're building out your weekly template, you can just strike through it and it's done. You can mark that off that, hey, I counted for that particular thing. So that's good. The other thing is, there's going to be a lot of activities that you're going to put on this list that are related to business. These are things that you should be doing. So you need to be doing in your business. You should already be doing, or that you need to start doing. Maybe there's some things that you have not been doing in your business and you really need to start doing it. And those activities are actually going to impact your business in a positive way. So examples of those are sourcing related activities. You should have some level of a sourcing activity happening every week, probably multiple times a week. I would suggest that. So there should be some time allotted for that. Research related activities, and that could be product research or listing related activities. Again, you should make time for that. And that includes if you're doing drop shipping or if you're doing print on demand. Like, it doesn't matter. There's some level of research that's happening that you're going to be doing in your business. It could be keyword research, but you should be doing some level of research to get the ball rolling on what are the things, either creating the listings or What are the things that I should be selling? So product related research. Next one is listing related activities. Even if you are doing it on your own, or you're doing it with, let's say you're doing this using a tool, a listing related tool, or if you are using, um, even if you're not listing, maybe you got a VA that's doing the listings for you. So that listing related activity could be things that your listing, your VA is doing for you. So listing related activities, and then you have shipping related activities. Even if you've outsourced shipping, let's say that you're drop shipping. So it's still a good thing to go back and kind of review and audit what's happening. Did the shipments go out? Is there a tracking number in there? If you're shipping yourself, making time for that. Whether you're shipping into your fulfillment center, whether it is Amazon FBA or whether it's WFS for Walmart, or whether it is Deliver or some other service, or whether you're shipping directly to your customers. So you should have some activity that's on your weekly template that is shipping related. And then admin related activities. This is where I think people don't make time for this. This is like an afterthought. So admin related activities, there's so many things under admin related activities. Your administrative activities is one of them is, you should be reviewing and auditing what's happening in your business. You can be going through and checking, expiration dates on things. You could be checking what your inventory levels are. You can be reconciling and balancing accounts, running your reports and your the different platforms that you sell on. So there's a lot of administrative activities that are actually going to help you make better data-driven decisions that you should incorporate into your weekly template that you're building. So we're on Clubhouse. Somebody wants to speak. So, they have left. No, maybe. All right. So, moving on. The next is then admin activities and then education related activities. All of us should be striving to get better at something in our business. It could be something we are currently doing and we feel like we got to get better at that. It could be keyword research. It could be product research. Maybe you need to get better at your product research. Maybe you need to do some research or get better at sourcing. So finding better wholesale supplier vendors or better drop shipping vendors. It could be that you need to get better at, keyword research or running ads, creating campaigns, doing paid, building paid traffic. Or get better at if you're building Shopify stores. Like if you're building a Shopify store for yourself, maybe you need to get better at the design and figuring out how different things work in Shopify, or get better at understanding the platforms that you do sell on. Maybe you don't understand all the reports that are available in your back office for Amazon or eBay or Etsy. And so getting better at those things, that is extremely important. And that is one of the things that, you should make time for that. Now, that's not a huge time block that you commit to, but it is something that you should commit to regularly so that the things that you do want to improve over time, that you've made time, intentional time to get better at those things. Okay. And then as part of this journey, after you've gone through the already do, need to do, want to do, we're going to come back to the goal setting, but you're going to review your goals and your checklist to define what your weekly activities should be. So I gave you a bunch of stuff around your weekly activities. We're going to look at a weekly activity schedule here in a second. But the other thing is that as part of this brain dump, you want to group these by what you typically do every day and which day you should be doing these activities as you build this list. So you're going to do the brain dump first. Then you're going to start organizing it by what you typically do every day. So if this is something I normally do on Mondays, write it down. This is something I normally do on Tuesdays, write it down. If it's something I normally do on Wednesdays, write it down. So that long-term bigger picture, you are trying to do things in a flow where you naturally already do stuff. You're not trying to go against the grain. You're not trying to complicate things. You're not trying to, your body and your mind, your subconscious mind is going to fight this journey, especially if it's something that you've not done in the past. So if you've been disorganized or somewhat disorganized, you have somewhat of a routine, let's take into account those things that you are sort of already have in place. Let's take those into account so that it's a natural flow and a natural transition to this new structure of operating from a weekly schedule. Let's not go against the grain. If you've already been doing product research on Mondays, then continue to do product research on Mondays. If it is already serving you well and you feel like you're fairly consistent with doing that, keep it the way it is. Do things in the natural flow. So go through and kind of look at in that brain dump that you're doing, write down the days next to each one of these things that you've created this weekly template list. Okay. And that's in your Google Doc. Just write a day next to it. Okay. You can put it in parentheses, brackets, whatever works for you. Then next, organize the brain dump list by morning, afternoon, and evening, or by time blocks. So this is what I will say. If you're looking at my screen, on the eCom Planner, we actually created a weekly template that is available for those who have the digital planner. And so they can come in here and build out their weekly activities. We've grouped it by morning, afternoon, evening. You could actually put times next to the morning activity. You can write into the time block so that way you have an opportunity to fill in this online for your own digital planner. Now, if you don't have the digital planner, you can go straight to the Google Docs and you can do this directly in Google Docs. Again, go back to the Rubik's Cube, choose the option for spreadsheet, and you can put rows going across Monday through Friday, columns going down, and then start filling in from your brain dump. Just fill in the stuff next to each thing. So I think last week, let me just see real quick, I did a weekly it was a weekly Google sheet. I could just type spreadsheets, a lot of stuff, a lot. Mine is pretty full. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. If you guys click on the Rubik's Cube, and then you can go to your Google Drive, and this is where I am. I'm actually in the back office of my Google Drive. And then from there, you can click on the new button, and then you can go to Sheets. And then from Sheets, again, you can go across if you don't already have a document. If you want to put the times going down, as soon as this thing activates, so you put the times going down, and then you can start putting the days going across. Sunday, Monday, I can type. It's only because people are looking. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You get it, okay? Then Friday, Saturday, okay? So going across Saturday. Ooh, lost the caps. Okay. Now, if you're doing time blocks, you can put your time blocks. You can start with 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and you can just go down. Then once you do that, you can start filling in those activities, those intentional activities that you're doing, that you're planning on doing. Just take your brain dump list from your Google Doc and start filling them in. On Sundays at 7 o'clock, we normally go to Bible study. On Sunday or Wednesday at 7 o'clock, that's when we go to Bible study. On Sundays, we go to church at 9 a.m. Like whatever it is, just go ahead and put it on there. It's okay. Okay, so we're going to organize it by day. You can use Google Sheets or you can use the eCom Planner, either one. And like I said, you can group it by morning, afternoon, and evening. So the things that you typically do in the morning, if you're working a 9 to 5, it's okay. Include that into the schedule that you're building. So, and I've just mentioned, like, open up Google Sheets if you want to create it there, or you can grab the My eCom Planner. Either one works to fill in the columns and the rows. This is your starter template. So, and I'm going to put it on here. So, or I'm going to write this in, or you can grab an eCom Planner, and this will be in there. Grab eCom Planner. Use the weekly planning templates in the back. Okay. So either one of those will work for you. So Google Drive or Google Sheets and eCom Planner. Then after you've done that, just know that this template that you're building as your baseline is not going to be perfect. You're going to tweak it. It's going to need to be modified. You're going to have to make changes to it. And that's just the reality of the way things work. You are going to need to modify the schedule. Again, we're working to improve our productivity. We're working to improve the consistency. We're working to focus on the things that are actually going to move the needle in our business and help us to grow. Listing is something you should be doing every single day. So you want to make time for listing every single day. Sourcing a few times a week, product research a few times a week. Like, I don't know how much available time you have. So if you're working a 9 to 5, and if your schedule has to reflect that 9 to 5, incorporate it into your schedule, because you're regaining control of where you're spending time. And a job is spending time. So put it on your schedule. Put down, things that are pretty obvious. So, when's dinner time, when's family time, and all that other stuff. So in this example, I have Sunday, and I'm just going to go through this. It's in time blocks in my example that I'm showing on my screen. So if you're on Clubhouse, you can join us in the e-commerce planning Facebook group so you can see the template that I sort of have outlined. And I built this inside the Google Doc just for the purposes of including into the document itself, but you can, like I said, build it in a Google Sheet. So on Sunday, what I have is I have intentionally set aside time to go through an account or track my activity for the week. So I have that at 7 o'clock in the morning, and to plan for next week. So I have an intentional time block. Now, if you don't currently get up at these times, maybe one of the first things you're going to work on doing is getting up a little earlier. So for me, like this morning, last night, my son, I have an autistic son, and I love him. He wakes up in the middle of the night. So he was up until 3 o'clock this morning. So that impacted my morning, and yeah, it is what it is. And there's some things in my life that I do not have any control over. It is what it is. So, and I apologize for that. But in any case, I plan on Sundays. In this example, this is not my schedule. My schedule is actually quite color coded, and I've flashed it before. But in any case, 7 o'clock I have on here accountability, accounting for where I spend my time, and what I'm planning for the next week. So that's good. 7 o'clock in the morning. Then 8 o'clock, I'm making time to list some products. And also, if I have a VA, I'm making time to schedule out what my VA's activities are for the week. So on Sundays at 8 o'clock, that's what I have. Then at 9, 10, and 11, which is a time block of 9 to 11, I have church. So again, this is an example. So if that's what you're already doing, that's fine. The next thing I have from 12, 1, and 2, and this is on the Sunday column, I have family time. Again, time block from 12 to 2, family time. So that is intentional time, the entire hour of 12, and 1, and 2. So it goes all the way to technically to 3 o'clock. But that is the time block in which I'm spending time with my family, 3 hours in this example. And then from 3, 4, 5, technically 3 to 6, because I start something new at 6, so it's 3 hours. Then I am shipping in this example in my business. So shipping in my business can be, maybe I'm shipping to a fulfillment center. Maybe I'm creating a shipment like shipping to Amazon FBA. Maybe I'm shipping to, my 3PL, whatever. Or I'm just prepping products that I purchased. If I did retail arbitrage or I got inventory that came in from my wholesale supplier, I'm prepping those items and putting them on shelves so that they're ready to go for orders that I receive throughout the week. So maybe I'm doing a shipping prepping related activity. So this is all an example. Then from 6 to 7, so technically from 6 to 8, I am doing a weekly household prep. That could be your meal prep time. That could be prepping the kids for the week to get their school clothes together for the entire week. I would tell you in my household, for real, this is one of the things we do is on Sunday, I have them get their clothes together for the entire week. So that, again, things that are going to streamline, automate, simplify, reduce the stress of, I will make time for those things. Those are extremely important because then I don't have to spend 30 minutes yelling at you throughout the week. Okay, I get my 30 minutes back. Next is business weekly prep. So there could be things in my business that I need to prep. If you already do something where you're like, I'm prepping for the week, I am making time for that window to do some business weekly prep. Now, I'm not telling you what you're going to put in that window because we're going to talk about that in just a second, but you can decide that that's a time block that's extremely important to me when it comes to my business. So that could be your additional planning time. That could be your prepping inventory and cleaning it up time. That could be, whatever it happens to be. You could continue on with your VA prep. And so that's additional stuff for your VA to transition over. If you don't have a VA, maybe that's one of the things you're going to do in the future is get a VA. So you're preparing for that. And then 9 o'clock is the next activity, which is business education. So I said one of your activities that you should make time for things that are going to help you get better at this e-commerce journey. So this is your opportunity to sit back and assess, what are you doing well? And what do you think you could actually make time to learn how to do better? The great thing about making time on your schedule for education related stuff when it comes to your business is then that way later on in the week, you're not sitting on YouTube in the YouTube vortex watching 90,000 videos and then you figure out 9 hours later, oh my gosh, I spent 9 hours on YouTube watching video after video after video. No, 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 no. Or maybe you bought some training. Maybe you bought some training on keyword research, product research, how to research your plans. Maybe you bought some training on how to do Facebook ads or Instagram ads or Google ads. And so this is your opportunity to actually be intentional and watch that training. So you're going to spend 1 hour watching that training. And so this is the example of that, putting it on your schedule on Sunday at 9 o'clock and watching that training, whatever it is that you bought, so that you can use that. If you put it at the beginning of the week, you can use that throughout the week as you go on, because there may be times where you're going to be running ads. And so you do that throughout the week. Then the next is admin time. So you decide, we're going to go through some suggestions on what goes in admin time, but making sure that you have time on your schedule for admin. This is one of those things that I think most people don't make time for. So you need to make time for that. And so I have that at 10 o'clock and then at 11 o'clock prepping for tomorrow and going to bed. So that's my Sunday as an example, as a person that is actually, working a job in my template, my example schedule. Then Monday through Friday, I am, in my example, a person that works a 9 to 5. So working 9 o'clock until 5 o'clock every single day, or 9 until 6, whatever. Working a job. So I'm like, how am I going to work this business, this e-commerce business, while working a job? So an example would be, let's go ahead and fill in our template Monday through Friday from 9 to 1, I'm working, and from 2 to 6, I'm working. Let's just go ahead and put it in there. Those are big, giant time blocks that are already taken up. Okay. Let's talk about our morning routine, Monday through Friday. Maybe you get up and you exercise for 30 minutes and you meditate for 15 and you yell at the kids for 15. Okay. I don't know what you do. I don't know how it works. So maybe you're getting the kids ready for school, get the kids up, but you get your quiet time, maybe your meditation first, get your exercise in, and then you spend 15 minutes getting the kids up. That's your whole hour right there. Then that's at 7 o'clock in my example schedule. So that's Monday through Friday. And then at 8 o'clock in my example schedule is I'm setting my intention, planning my day. So one of the things that I encourage you to do is every single day, 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening, is actually do some advanced planning. Plan for the next day, review what's happening the next day. So it's not a shock or surprise. You don't wake up and go, oh God, I had a meeting with a client at blah, blah, blah time. Yeah. Just so that you don't have surprises. Oh, Billy had a dentist appointment today. Oh, I forgot about that. So make sure that you make time for the things that are going to help you in your business. And so daily planning, even if it's only 10 minutes, go ahead and do that. And then prepping for work and getting the kids out the door, 8 o'clock. Okay, let's get the kids out in that 8 o'clock hour and do some 15-minute planning for the next day, reviewing, and then get ready for work. So now we're off to work. Okay. And we've already said that we're at work from 9 until 1. We're working. So not working on the business, but you do get an hour for lunch in this example schedule. So in that hour for lunch, on my example, I have every other day we're doing research. That could be product research. That could be listing research, because you may discover that maybe you need to get better at doing listing research in advance so that you can list faster when you're listing in the evening. Or maybe you need to get better at product research so that way the next day you can do some sourcing around, what are the products that people are interested in buying or potentially going to buy in the future. So again, being intentional, setting time. That doesn't mean that you're spending the whole hour doing that activity, because you're probably going to be eating lunch in this example. So maybe you set aside 30 minutes of that lunchtime to engage in research, product research or listing research or keyword research. And you set aside 30 minutes for sourcing, because you can do sourcing from your desk. You can do sourcing from your car. Maybe there is a little strip mall next to the building that you work in, and so you can go do some sourcing next door. So, because sourcing can happen anywhere. Sourcing can happen at a 7-Eleven. Sourcing can happen anywhere. Okay? And so you could be sourcing online, or you could be sourcing, whatever. Going through a wholesale supplier's catalog on your lunch hour, spending 30 minutes doing that. So you're using what I refer to as pockets of time, finding pockets of time to get the things done that are actually going to make a difference in your business, because you're on the road to $1 million business. Okay. You're on the road to $1 million business. Let's be intentional about where we're spending our time. Then we're back to work in this example, Monday through Friday from 2 to 6. So on my way home, I have almost every other day, Monday and Friday, I'm doing some sourcing. So in this example, I'm sourcing Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Look at that. I've actually made time for sourcing. That's not saying that I'm actually going to do an hour's worth of sourcing. It's just I'm squeezing it in. So on your drive home, maybe there's a couple of places you could stop at and grab some inventory. You've already done some research earlier in the day based on this example. So why not just go ahead and stop and pick up that inventory? Okay, because you already did the research, product research in this example. So you're being intentional. Tuesday and Thursday, and it could be on Monday and Friday, that you actually are going home, and before you do anything else, before you prep dinner or whatever, heat up dinner, you are doing a little bit of online sourcing if you're doing wholesale or you're doing drop shipping. So again, you're making time for the things in your business that are going to move the needle. The next is Tuesday and Thursday. So I have shipping related activities. So my shipping related activities, it could be I'm shipping orders customers have purchased, and I'm shipping orders directly to them. So in my example, now I'm shipping Sunday. I'm shipping, and maybe I was doing some prep on shipping on Sunday, but shipping Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. So I'm shipping, and hey, on my way to work the next day, I could drop off those shipments at UPS, USPS, FedEx, whatever. Maybe there's a drop off at your job. So you just take all those boxes in and say, hey, because you've already got your labels on your stuff. So you're not really using the company's stuff to do this. So there's different ways in which you can mix and match this to achieve your long-term goals. I hope you're starting to see that. And in my example schedule, I also have a little bit of research on Tuesday. So I'm doing research. It looks like in my schedule, I'm doing research. It could be product research, listing research, keyword research. I'm doing it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Again, making time for an activity that's going to help grow, expand, scale my business. And this is an example of a person working a 9 to 5. And then on Sundays, we said, okay, we're doing Bible study. Wednesdays, we're doing Bible study. So I'm going to leave that. I don't have any of those activities there. Monday through Friday, we're having dinner at 7, except for Bible study day. So I'm going to be intentional. Maybe on my meal prep on Sunday, I packed up a to-go meal. Maybe the kids are carrying, I don't know, Hot Pockets or your own version of Hot Pockets or empanadas or whatever, where it is a handheld food that you can have in the car. So you're being intentional about your planning on Sunday to deal with what's going to happen on Wednesday. That way you're not coming home after Bible study and trying to feed the kids and then try to get them in bed, blah, 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 blah. You're not doing all that. Okay. So think through that, some advanced planning. Or maybe you stop and get some food on the way there. That may be your free day, your cheat day, whatever. Then as we continue on through this schedule, that's template, Monday through Friday, we're doing homework at 8 o'clock. we're at 9 o'clock, it's bedtime, get the kids in the bed, and figuring out that bedtime routine. We'll talk about that in just a second. And then after they're down, you're going to spend an hour working in your business. So you're going to create listings. Now, here's the great thing about that: Monday through Friday. You're also going to make time, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, for customer service related activities. That's checking for customer questions and responding to that. Um, so replying through email, handling returns, handling refunds, that kind of stuff. So set aside 10 or 15 minutes out of that hour to do that, and then be intentional and create listings every single day, Monday through Friday. So I'm creating listings. You can see in this example, Sunday I'm creating listings, Monday through Friday I'm creating listings. So that's an activity that's really going to move the needle. And in that listing, one of the things that maybe you needed to improve is getting better at keyword research or product research so you can create better listings. And maybe that's something you learned in your education on Sunday, that education window that you set aside. So we're going to go ahead and start implementing the stuff we learned about creating listings, maybe. So Monday through Friday in the evening, after the kids go to bed, we're creating listings, period. And then you're going to bed, you're prepping for tomorrow, pulling your clothes out if you didn't already do that, putting your, I don't know, office laptop in your backpack. I don't know, whatever you have going on. I don't know what your bedtime routine is. Maybe you're double checking all the kids' homework or signing off on teacher forms or whatever it happens to be. And then you're heading to bed. Maybe there's a time where you read your Bible just before you go to bed, you say your prayers, blah, blah, blah. So you're going through your bedtime routine at 11 o'clock. But again, now we've worked through actually working in our business Sunday through Friday. So let's talk about Saturday in this example. So Saturday, I have at 7 o'clock that accounting and planning time. Again, at 8 o'clock, I have that VA and shipping time. So again, if I did some sourcing on Friday, if you notice in the time block, I did actually do some sourcing on Friday. So maybe I need to ship that off to my fulfillment center. Maybe I need to ship orders to customers. So now if I'm shipping orders to customers, I literally am engaging in a shipping activity Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday if I am doing fulfilling orders myself. So making time for that. Also making time if you need to meet with your VA. Maybe you do a recap. This was the stuff I gave you to do last week. Let's see where we are. So maybe you're meeting with them on Saturday morning because you're working a 9 to 5 in this example. Then we have kids sports from 9 and 10 on Saturday. So you make time for the kids. And you got to go to the grocery store from 11 to 12. Or again, you could streamline your life and just order online, have that stuff dropped off at your house if you don't feel like going to the stores. Save yourself some time. You are going to pay an additional amount to get that time back. So it's your call ultimately how you want to do that. I normally do my efficient shopping list. So I make it a little bit easier for me. And then cleaning your house from 1 to 2 in this example. So doing laundry, cleaning the house, trying to pull the house together. We're not going to say it's perfect. Or maybe you hire a maid. That may be another thing that's going to simplify and automate your life. And this is where you're putting stuff away because the maid came. Or you have the kids helping the maid. There you go. 3 to 4 and 5, we have sourcing. So for 3 hours, you're engaging in a sourcing related activity. If you're doing retail arbitrage, this is when you're going out and doing some retail arbitrage. If you are doing wholesale or drop shipping, again, getting your products that you're listing, you're getting those products pulled together, and now we're going to do some listing. So in my example, I am literally listing Sunday through Saturday. Every day I'm engaging in a listing related activity. That's something that is going to move the needle. I make time for that on my schedule. That's going to move the needle in my business. We have dinner at 7 because that's our routine. That's the family routine in this example. And then you have family time from 8 to 9. So maybe that's family movie night. Maybe that's cuddling up with the kids and playing a game, board game, anything so that they know that you're important. So you're going to make some time for the family. And then at 10 o'clock in this example, I have administrative time. So now I have admin tasks twice a week, Saturday and Sunday. And then we move on to the next day. So this is just an example. This is not my schedule. This could be anyone's schedule. But if you want to know how you work e-commerce into your daily life, here's an example of how you do that. This is an example. Now, what are the what are the things that we should always be doing? So, as you are planning for the week, you do need to establish you're going to build this template first. First thing is the template. From the template, it kind of gives the guide for what's happening for the week. And then you're going to build an actual. So you have a template and you have an actual. If you think of it like a budget, you're building out a budget for the month of, I don't know, we're going into April. So the month of April. This is what I think I'm going to be spending. So you put your estimates. This is how much I'm going to pay for rent or for mortgage. This is how much I'm going to pay for car payments or no car payments. How much I'm going to spend on gas for the car, how much I'm going to spend in groceries, how much I'm going to spend in the electric bill, the water bill, trash, all that stuff. Like all the stuff that you spend money on, entertainment, whatever, clothes. So these are all the things that you're doing in your budget. And then you have the actual. At the end of the month, you should be or every day, you should be cataloging what you actually spent. So I said that I was going to spend this much in groceries. I was going to spend $500 this month or $1,000 this month in groceries. What did I actually spend? Add up the receipts. You spent $868.14. Okay. So then you're starting to regain control of where your money is being spent, where your time is being wasted. Okay. Or where your money is being wasted. And that example of the budget. Well, the same thing with your time. You're building a template for where you're going to be spending time and the things you're going to be spending time on. When you build your actual will drive what actually happens. So when I am saying I'm engaging in a shipping related activity, you know, or I'm engaging in a product research related activity or a listing research related activity, like what product research am I doing? Am I doing product research for what? Am I doing product research for products that I'm going to be selling, in May or June? So I'm doing some intentional advanced planning. What's something that's going to happen in May? Well, there's Cinco de Mayo, there's Mother's Day, there's graduation, there's all kinds of stuff. So if I say that on Wednesday, I'm doing product research no matter what. So Wednesdays I do product research, maybe Monday is listing research and Wednesday is product research and Friday is listing research, then I am being intentional about what are the products that I'm doing product research on for the future. Okay. So you put the details in the actual. I have product research as the time block, but I'm going to be doing product research for Memorial Day. Okay. All right. I'm going to go out and intentionally find products for Memorial Day, or I'm going to do product research for replens that are, that are summer replens. So I'm going to go through, these are things that people buy over and over again, no matter what. And they're summer related. And so I'm going to get recurring sales because they are summer replens. Again, out of school replens. So let's go do product research on that. That is what I mean by taking that template and then building your actual. So you put them side by side. Say, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing here. Let's plan it out. Let's do the actual. So that's your last thing in this building this out is you're going to take this template and you're going to use it to build your actual. You should be determining what your weekly priorities are. What's the things that you're going to focus on, the most important things for your business. You also need to be thinking about your weekly habits. We're going to come to that in just a second. And then you should be glancing at your monthly plan for the month of March. Let's go glance at that. What did I have down for the month of March that were my goals, my income producing goals, my operational goals, my marketing goals, so that I can incorporate that into my actual schedule. Okay. If I said that we were going to run ads for at the end of the month, so let's say I put on my monthly plan that I was going to start running ads for Easter on March the 31st, let's go do that. Let's start on March 31st, building out your first set of ads, because maybe that's what's on your monthly plan. Okay. You're being intentional. So looking at your monthly plan, reviewing what you already had down for the month of March, because we are at the end of the month of March, and also taking the opportunity to say, what were my monthly goals? And did I meet all my monthly goals? Because this is the last partial week of March. It's not a full week because it ends on Thursday. So You got Sunday, you got Saturday too, but you got Sunday through um, Thursday to finish March strong. So let's go get those March goals and let's make sure we incorporate those March goals into our actual schedule this week. Then, like I said, sourcing related activities, you're going to review maybe in your plan as part of the actual activity you're going to engage in. Go and review, holidays, activities, events for the next 6 to 20 weeks. Go out in advance. We're on the tail end of school being out and school's going to be starting again. I mean, it really happens that fast, people. So if you're a person that sells back to school, this is when you're sourcing. And not back to school supplies, like clothes. Families buy clothes every single July and August for kids. They're buying shoes, socks, hats, backpacks. These are things that they buy. So they're buying those things. The next is listing related activities. So I have on here the things that I'm actually going to be doing. So what am I doing? I'm keyword research, taking my photos, maybe cross listing those items onto other platforms, listing them on social media, listing them there, sharing them on social media on different pages on social media like Pinterest, your Instagram and Facebook and whatnot, and pushing them through Ping Farm. Another one of those things that's going to increase traffic to your listings. Shipping related activities, I've already said, like FBA, WFS, all of those, your fulfillment center, FBM, that's just fulfillment by merchant, by you, checking and auditing things that should have been shipped, checking to make sure that it actually does have a tracking number, following up with a vendor that's supposed to be doing that work to say, hey, did you guys miss this shipment? Because I don't see a tracking number, things you should be paying attention in your business. You don't want your customer contacting you to say, I have not received my order. You should be checking, like, okay, even especially if you've got it on autopilot. Like you should be checking, okay, I see tracking numbers for everything. Good, 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 good. And maybe you have a customer service process that you put in place that sends an automated update that says, hey, we know that you probably know about your tracking, but we just want to make sure that, we're watching it on our side, or here's the tracking number again, just in case you lost that email, or, hey, we see that your order has been delivered. Thank you for your purchase. Don't forget, we're giving you 10% off. Like if you've got a Shopify store, these may be things that you're doing. So going through and auditing that as an activity that you're doing in your business where you can increase your customer, your return customers, giving them an incentive to come back and shop with you again. Then you've got, like I said, customer service activities, dealing with questions, returns, refunds. So be specific. So that customer service initially is going to be vague, but as you continue to sell on a regular basis, you'll figure out how much time you really need for that. But if you don't know initially, don't put more than 15 minutes on that. And then eventually come back to that. And if it becomes such a cumbersome and involved process that 15 minutes is not enough, that may be an opportunity for you to outsource some of that to a VA. So you start to identify opportunities of stuff that you can outsource to a VA just by going through this exercise. Next, your education activities. So I talked about things that you want to improve, things you want to learn or better understand. So again, if you're one of those people like, oh, I really don't understand the reports that are in my back office, I really want to get better at that. Or, hey, I don't do like creating Facebook ads. It's just such a task for me. Or how do I, create Amazon ads, or how do I figure out what my ROAS is? Like all of that kind of stuff. If you don't understand it, setting aside intentional time to learn that is a good thing. And then administrative activities. I can go on and on about the administrative activities. And what I don't have listed there is creating ads. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that. But, these are ads. Marketing. And you can have that as a separate thing if you want to, marketing related activities. So you could actually put that as its own thing, or you can incorporate that into this, whatever works for you. But I'll put this here. But your administrative activities, like you got to do tax filings, and especially with the fact that you're at the end of the month now, like you're at the end of March. So this is something that's coming up. You've got reconciliation of your expenses and your bank accounts, and balancing out your, creating your budget for April. That's something we're going to talk about tomorrow. Tracking your expenses and your receipts every single day, your orders, getting your invoices back and keeping track of that. It's going to make your life a whole lot easier, especially for your accountant, if you're keeping track of that stuff on a weekly basis, if not a daily basis. um, doing an audit of your inventory, if you need to create standard operating procedures because you want to outsource something to a VA. So going back to that customer service, like that could be something that you outsource to a VA, long-term, bigger picture. And so making time to build out that standard operating procedure so that the VA can take over that customer service piece. And now you bought back your time, and you can take that 15 minutes and spend it on something else that's going to make you money. Okay. Not that customer service is not going to make you money, it will, but you can spend time on something that's going to make you money. All right. So build your actual schedule. First, build your template. Know that your template is going to change, it's going to evolve, it's going to move. Build out your actual schedule. So now we're going to go through and we're going to talk about in that weekly planning, in that weekly activity, what are the things that you should be thinking about, considering, incorporating as you're building out that schedule? You got to look at your goals. So the types of goals that you could have, and again, I did this in the reverse because normally I talk about the goals first, and then I go into the actual weekly schedule. So hopefully this helps, because if you never got to the end of the session last time, then now you know. So as we're getting ready to transition to the next topic, I just want to say, I normally am supposed to do this. I am on Clubhouse. And so we're live on Clubhouse. We're also live in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. I'm also live on my own personal page. My name is Nicole Whitlock, and I have a passion for helping people organize their lives, organize their business so that they can, achieve their goals, whatever those goals happen to be. Move the needle in their business with incremental activities every single day, incremental, inch by inch, growing this massive, major $1 million e-commerce business. That's my passion in life, and I would love to be able to help you. You can connect with me on Facebook in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. You can also connect with me on Clubhouse. And if you want to schedule a 20-minute session so we can talk about your business, you can go to www.ecomsellers.com, click on coaching, and schedule a 20-minute coaching session with me. I would be happy to help you in your e-commerce business and on your e-commerce journey. So let's talk about the goals. And this is the last piece of this. We walk through the template, we walk through the actual. Building out the template takes the most time. And then once you build it, it's done. So you don't have to build a template every single week. You just have to execute the actual. You have to create the actual every single week. So that's your activity going forward, is you're going to build an actual every single week, and you're just going to use the template as your reference point. Now that we have a template, let's figure out what types of goals we should be thinking about when we do our actual. So the first one are your mini goals, mini habits that you need to build. Maybe one of your mini goals in the examples that I talked about today was you're not good at creating listings every single day. Listings are one of those things that actually makes you money. If a listing exists, people can buy it and it'll make you money. Okay? So creating listings every single day is extremely important. That's the first thing. So those mini goals around that. So maybe one of the things that you do is, instead of putting a big goal out there of creating 10 listings every single day, maybe it's like exhausting for you. You get listing fatigue and you're just like, I can't do this. So maybe long-term, bigger picture, you're going to outsource some of your listing activities to a tool or to a VA, or you're going to figure out how to do a file upload so you don't have to sit there and go from screen to screen on whatever platform that you're selling on. But the goal first is to just build the habit of consistency around listing. I got to list every single day. So create a goal that is an easy one to attain. Maybe just list one thing a day instead of 10 things initially. You can build up to the 10, but for the first 2 weeks, just be consistent about the activity of creating a listing every day, no matter what. So for 2 weeks, create one listing every single day, no matter what. It is I've talked about this in the daily planning, that Jerry Seinfeld has this activity that he does around creating a new joke, writing a new joke every single day, no matter what. It's clearly served him well. He's a multimillionaire because of it. And so he would get a calendar out and he put a big red X every single day that he wrote a new joke. So for you, if a red X works for you, then do that. But building a habit and tracking it around getting consistent around creating listings is extremely important. Even if it's listings where you're doing sell similar or piggybacking off an existing listing. Again, I don't know what platforms you sell on. The goal is just to build the habit of consistency around listing so that when you don't do it, you feel weird. Like, oh my God, I didn't create a listing today. Like, I didn't create at least one listing today. So that could be something that you work on as a mini goal, something that is easy to attain and is not complicated or hard. Another one might be drinking 32 ounces of water. Well, as a starting point, maybe you just put down that I'm going to drink 8 ounces of water every single day for 2 weeks, no matter what. Then after 2 weeks, the next 2 weeks, you can increase it, double the amount, 16 ounces. So in your listing on creating listings in your business, maybe you start off with one every 2 weeks and then you increase it to three every 2 weeks. I mean, three for 2 weeks, and then 3 listings a day for 2 weeks. And then you go up to 5 listings a day for 2 weeks. Then you go up to 7 listings a day for 2 weeks. And then you go to 10 listings a day for 2 weeks. And now you have hopefully built the habit. So it's an incremental increase in the number. But the thing that you were doing every single day is being consistent around listing, period. So create some mini goals in your life as you are putting a time block out there or putting a checklist activity out there around listing. Be intentional. So you still can leave it at an hour. If you got that time block as an hour, leave the time block as an hour. Because sometimes when you're first starting off on working on being consistent, you might suck at creating listings. And so it may actually take you an hour to get your first listing up. It's like, oh my gosh, why is it taking so long? I'm not saying it's always going to take that long, because as you consistently do something over and over again, you'll actually get faster and better at it. So it's not going to take you an hour to do it. But I'm just saying, just getting started, if that's your weakness, if that's your kryptonite, get consistent around creating listings. All right. So that's a mini goal. You're probably going to have some mini goals in this weekly template and weekly activities of actual activities. The next one is habit stacking. So habit stacking, if we go back and talk about listings, it is breaking down the things that you actually have to do and putting them in a logical order or sequence that makes the most sense. So, so organizing it in such a way that it helps you get through whatever that task or that activity is in the most logical way. I always use the example of my kids' morning or evening routine, and I also use the example of listing. So if we lay out the activities associated with creating a listing and put them in a linear form, a straight line going across, or just lay them out, if you were pretending it was an assembly line on your desktop. So the first thing is you have the item. So if I'm going to use the example of retail arbitrage, I got the item from, I don't know, Target, Walmart, whatever. Picked up the item, sitting on my desk at the beginning of this assembly line. What do I have to do in order to create a listing for this particular item if it doesn't already exist? Well, I got to prep the item. So I got to take the stickers off of it. If I got stickers or price tag off of it, I've got to maybe take pictures of the particular item. I've got to do maybe some keyword research and got to come up with a description for the item. And I got to come up with a title for the item. And then for the pictures, maybe I need to clean out the background for the item. Then I got to figure out how much I want to sell it and which platforms I'm going to sell it on. So as I go across my desk, each one of those things that I listed is an actual activity. Those are either decision points or activity points that I got to do to create this listing. Okay. So in order for me to have a listing, I got to look at the end of the line from left to right. So on the right side, this is what it looks like at the end. So the listing exists. It's got a title. It's got a description. It's got pictures. It's got a price. And if you're doing the order fulfillment yourself, you figure out how long it's going to take you, what type of box you're going to put it in, so you know whether or not what type of shipping. Like, okay, I can put this in a padded flat rate box, or I have to find a bigger box. So the shipping might be bigger, like it might cost more. That's all the stuff that you've done prior to getting that listing up. You've made all of those decision points. So set that up in a linear form. And maybe there are pieces of that you can improve as you go along this journey. So the first thing was in the left side, you picked it up at the store, you bought it, and you brought it home. So maybe one of the activities that you do every single time that you go out and do sourcing is that you make the intention of prepping the item immediately. Prepping it then versus prepping it later when you're listing at night, when your kids are going to bed, and you're like, oh, okay, now I got to prep it, and then I got to take the pictures of it, and I got to do this, I got to do the keyword research and title, blah, blah, blah. I do all that stuff. Do some of that work up front. So that's one less activity, and you streamline that. So get in the habit of as soon as it comes in, prep it as soon as you get home. Make that your activity. And then once you prep it as soon as it comes home, one of the things that I used to do is I would do my product research and keyword research while the kids were eating dinner. Not product research, keyword research, and product research, listing research, while the kids were eating dinner. So I knew that that was a time in which they were set at the table. They weren't going to move. I didn't have to chase after them because my son was a runner. And I would actually go and do some quick title research. I would do some quick listing research, and I would make a note of that stuff, either in a Google document or put a little note and put a sticky on top of the item. And I stuck all of the things that I needed to list that night in a laundry basket at the end of my desk. They were all stacked on top of each other with little Post-it notes. I would take a picture. So maybe when you first get it, you go ahead and prep it, take the picture of it as soon as you get it, and put it in the laundry basket so that when you're ready to list, all you have to do is just take the stuff out and just list. You've already taken the pictures. You've already cleaned the backgrounds of the pictures. You've already done the keyword research and the title research. You've already figured out how you're going to ship this out to the customer directly if you're doing the shipments yourself. You've already figured out what the price is going to be. You've already figured all that stuff out. So all you need to do is take your laundry basket, put it on top of your desk, and take one thing out at a time and start listing those particular items. So instead of spending 1 hour or 2 hours spending 1 hour to create 2 listings, because that's 30 minutes per listing. That's way too long to create a listing. If it's taking you 30 minutes to create a listing, you need to dissect all the steps of what you're executing to create a listing and figure out where your bottleneck is. It should not take you 30 minutes to create a listing. You got to figure out how to collapse that down to get it down from 30 minutes to 25 to 20 to 15 and potentially down to 10 or even 5. So I'm talking about new listings. I'm not talking about piggybacking. Maybe one of the things you decide in your business that I am never creating new listings. My strategy is always going to be to piggyback, or my strategy is always going to be to sell similar, and that's fine. Whatever your approach is, you decide what your strategy is. But the goal is to figure out how to streamline this process around listings so that you can take something that was taking you 30 minutes and get it down to 10. So over time, what happened when I first started listing was because I had to dissect every single activity to get this listing up, I got my listings down to 6-minute listings. Didn't take me more than 6 minutes. Sometimes it was less than that, but took me no more than 6 minutes. So in an hour, instead of at the end of 1 hour having 2 listings up, at 6-minute listings, at the end of 1 hour, I had 10 listings up. You feel like you've accomplished more when you got 10 listings up in an hour versus 2 listings up in an hour. Because at the end of a week, if you're listing every single day, 10 listings up in an hour, at the end of a week, I've got 70 listings up versus 14. It makes a difference. So go through and look at the activities that you're engaging in when it comes to the activity that you need to, like the steps that you're performing in order to figure out where your bottleneck is and where your opportunity is. You'll feel less defeated. You'll feel like you've accomplished more if you dissect that so that you can get to your end game. Seriously, you will. Another example of that is you're going to probably, and that's called habit stacking, like going through and breaking down and then figuring out how to streamline, automate, and put things in sequential order that they need to happen in naturally. So another example of that is our nighttime routine for my kids. So my nighttime routine for my kids when they were little was just horrendous. It was horrible, awful. And what I had to do was go back and kind of deconstruct it. Where my house is 2 stories, so where's their backpacks, where's their shoes, where's their coats, where's their homework, where's their whatever. So our nighttime routine was, let's get your clothes ready for tomorrow, and let's get your shower, brush your teeth, and let's fix your lunch, and let's blah, 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 blah. It was everywhere. And my goal was to get the boys into the bedroom and down within 45 minutes. got to figure that out. Like, what's wrong? Something's wrong with this process. Actually, you can get it under 40. For me, I got it under 40. But anyway, but my goal was 45, no matter what. So I had to break down all the little steps that are involved in that. So I had to stack these up in sequential order. So the first thing was, we're starting from the bedroom, because the bedroom's upstairs. I'm going to walk past the bathroom. I got to walk past the den. I have to go down the stairs, walk past the front door to get to the kitchen to make the sandwiches. So what are all the things that I have to pick up or see in that path? And you have to write down what you're doing first in order to figure out what you need to improve. So I would write down what I saw, like the shoes were everywhere, backpacks were everywhere, coats were everywhere, lunch pail. I had to go back upstairs to get the lunch pail to take it back downstairs to the kitchen. I was like, we're not doing this. This is like a zigzag. I'm not doing the zigzag. So let's grab things along the way. So if we start from the bedroom, leaving the bedroom, going past the bathroom, I'm going to, in the bedroom, go ahead and get my pajamas, get the kids' pajamas and put them in the bathroom as you walk past it. Why? Because we're going to come past the bedroom to get back to you're going to go past the bathroom to get back to the bedroom in just a minute. So get the kids' clothes, say, hey, grab your clothes, let's put them in the bathroom. They're like, what? Yeah, it's okay. Just grab them. We're starting from the bedroom. Now, as we walk past the bathroom after we dropped off the clothes, we're going to go past the den. Let's grab the homework that's sitting on the desk, and we're going to grab that along with the backpack. And we're going to go down the stairs. We're going to put the homework into the backpack and put it near the front door, because that's where the kids are, right? I mean, that's where the kids have to leave. They got to go out the front door to go to school. And then we're, grabbing from the den, we're also grabbing the lunch pail out of the backpack, and we're headed to the kitchen. In the kitchen, we fix the lunch and we go back up the stairs. Now we fix the lunch. We grab the coat on the way up the stairs, because you may not need a coat tomorrow. We also grab the shoes as we walk past the den when we go upstairs, and we put the shoes and the coat down for just a second, because we got to put the shoes in the cubby in just a second. We're going to go in the bathroom, brush our teeth, wash our face. We'll take our shower, brush our teeth, wash our face, and then, get our meds, because my son does take medication to go to sleep. And as we come out of the bathroom, we're going to pick up that coat and pick up those shoes that we grabbed on the way back up. And we're going to put the shoes into the cubby. We got to put our clothes into the dirty clothes hamper that's in the bathroom. So we're going to put the shoes in the cubby as we come out, and we're going to go straight to the bedroom. Now, you're in the bedroom. You don't need to leave this bedroom for anything. You don't need a cup of water. We already got your cup of water for your meds. You don't need to go to the bathroom because you used the restroom while you were in the bathroom when you took your shower and brushed your teeth. We don't have to go downstairs to go prep lunch. I don't have to figure out where your stuff is. Now, while we're in the bedroom, we're going to hang up that coat that you should have hung up when you came home from school. And that's a whole nother routine that you can work on. And we're going to go ahead and pull out your school clothes that you prepped on Sunday for the week and make sure they're ready to go. So when you wake up in the morning, you just grab your school clothes and you can get dressed. So this is all, you're still in the bedroom. You're not leaving this bedroom for whatever reason. So we go through that sequential order of what are the activities to ultimately get to the end goal. The end goal is to get them back in the bedroom and don't let them leave. That's the end result. So let's grab everything along the way. Let's not go do the zigzag and go back and forth, back and forth. I don't want to touch things twice. I don't want to go past the room twice. I don't want any of that. Let's just get it all done. And then you can stay in the room, say your prayers, and go to sleep. So think about, I gave you two different examples, very different examples, but again, it's about sequencing and stacking the activities on top of each other. So what are you doing in your business around, maybe you've got some areas of improvement around shipping. Maybe shipping is taking you 5 hours every single week to get your shipments off to WFS or to Amazon. And maybe there's an opportunity there that you could dissect and improve, or getting it off to your 3PL, or maybe there's something in your ordering process that is just taking you forever to do. And you're like, do I have some opportunities to improve this in some kind of way, streamline it, automate it, make it better? It's something I got to do. So let's figure out how to fix it. Okay. And let's figure out how to improve it. And something that you're going to have to, continue doing, but let's figure out how we can collapse some of that time and get it back and get the routine done that you need to get done, improve it to make it better. The next one is time blocks. So I've talked about time blocks already, sort of indirectly. And most of the time, I encourage you, if you're starting this journey for the first time, don't schedule 30-minute time blocks, please. At least do an hour time block, even if you're not going to spend that entire hour doing the activity. Initially, we're just trying to build the habit of consistency. We're building the habit of consistency. We're not trying to, but we're building the habit of consistency because maybe this is something you haven't done in the past. And so your subconscious brain is going to fight you the entire way. There's going to be stuff that's going to come up. You're going to get distracted. You're going to go shiny object, be like a cat with a laser light. Like you're going to be chasing things down, and you're going to be discovering that you waste time over and over again because you've had the habit of wasting time for so long. So now you're trying to break a bad habit. You're trying to actually be intentional about what you're doing, using your time for. And your current habit of procrastination is going to fight you along the way. So time blocks, even if you're not going to use the entire hour to do something, you're going to set aside a block of time to do whatever the activity is. So in our example, we had a time block for family time. It's intentional, it's on purpose, and we're going to do everything that is family time related. Maybe you have planned activities and you can be intentional about that. If we're going to play a board game, let's play the board game or play cards for 2 hours. Let's do that. Or do puzzles together or watch a movie on Disney Plus. Whatever it is, we're doing this for 2 hours together as a family. We're going to talk about it, blah, blah, blah. So be intentional about what you do in that time. Same thing with your business. So be intentional about what you're sourcing. When I talked earlier about what am I sourcing for? Am I sourcing for stuff next week, or am I sourcing for replans? Am I sourcing for holiday and seasonal thing? What am I sourcing for? What am I sourcing for? So be intentional about on your schedule. Be intentional about what you're going to be sourcing for, and put it in that time block that you've set aside for sourcing. You can break your time block into within that 1 hour, break it down into 25-minute segments. So you have a 5-minute break in between. If it is something that is all brain consuming. The other thing that I want to encourage you is when you are creating time blocks in your life and in your business, try to figure out your most productive time of the day and do the most important things in that most productive time of the day. Everybody's got a most productive time of the day. We all do. Trust me, we do. So when you feel like this is my window in which I get a bunch of stuff done in this window, that's where you want to put the things that are going to make you the most money in that time block. Okay? The things that are going to get you the best result or make you the most money, put it in that time block.
Hey, Mama. Hey, Mama.
Okay?
Hey, Mama.
Hey, Nicholas. So that's what we do. The next thing, hold on for just 1 second. Tony, do you smell something? Something smells like something burning. I have to get up in just a second. We're almost done. The next one is checklist. So if time blocks are not your jam, you can use the checklist that we started off with for the template. You smell something burning? Okay. Go downstairs and check to see what's up. Or create a to-do list. You can do a checklist or to-do list if that works for you, and use that as your basis for your schedule. So if you don't want to do time blocks, if you are more comfortable with saying these are the things I need to do in the morning, these are the things I need to do in the afternoon, these are the things I need to do in the evening, then do that. And then the last one is establishing SMART goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, or realistic and timely. We don't want to make everything to be simple. We do want to stretch ourselves. We want to grow ourselves. We want to grow our business. So over time, you're going to be creating goals or establishing goals that are going to be things that you need to measure. You want to measure whether or not your sales from 2021 are, for the month of April. If your sales are the month of March, we'll do month of March or February, because those months are about to pass or have already passed. So if you compare your results from February of 2021 to February 2022, hopefully your goal is to grow. And by how much? Did you want to increase your sales by 10%, 15%, 20%? That is measurable. You can see that in a report and in the data. Maybe you wanted to have more listings. Maybe last February you created 1,000 new listings, and your goal this year was to create 1,200 new listings. So again, something that is truly measurable, and it's smart, it's specific to your business, it's relevant to your business, and it is achievable. So if I'm going to create in the month of February, even though it's already passed, 1,200 new listings, I want to break that down into maybe weeks. So I divide 1,200 by 4 so that I know how many new listings I need to create each week. And then I would take that number and divide that by 7. So I know how many new listings I need to create each day. And then once you know how many you need to create each day, if you're using a listing tool or you're using a VA, you know what you need to do to reach that goal. So you need to know what your data is in order to figure out what type of measurable goal you want to create for yourself and for your business. It can be generic when you first start off, but then you need to get specific. What is my specific goal? If I want to increase my sales by 5% every single month, year over year, then I need to know what they were last year. I also need to have an idea of what I was selling last year and what were those things. And it needs to be realistic. So you're trying to stretch yourself to get to that $1 million in sales. That's your goal. That's your vision. So do make decisions in your business that are going to help you reach that goal, whatever it happens to be. So with that being said, I hope this information was helpful. If this is valuable to you, please share this out to, on your social media and share it out with a friend and say, hey, this is how we're going to make some goals for our business. Especially if you got a business partner, like establish some goals this way as well. But build your weekly template first. Then after you build your weekly template, build your actual. And every week going forward, you're going to build an actual every week. Okay. You may have a weekly template that's for each season. Like I have one for when school starts, and I also have one when school's in session and we're in track. So it's completely different, or not completely different. I also have a completely different template for Q4. Now I do have one for that because I kind of double things and move things away, move things around, and I strip things out. So that way I can focus more on the things that are going to move the needle in my business. But yeah, you need to build a template and then build your actual. So every week you should be focused on what your actual is. Break out your weekly template and then build what you're going to be doing in your business. And then execute that every single day in your daily. What that's going to do is it's going to streamline the amount of time that you spend on your daily schedule, which is what you want to do. All right. Well, my name is Nicole Whitlock. I'm with eCom Sellers. We meet every week to do our weekly eCom planning session. I encourage you to come back and join us, share this out, invite a friend. We're live on Clubhouse. We're also live on Facebook, and eventually I think we're live on YouTube as well, but we'll eventually be live on Instagram once I figure that out. And you can connect with me on Facebook. You can connect with me. Go to ecomsellers.com and go click on coaching to schedule a session so that I can help you on your e-commerce journey. And we can go through your schedule and can take a look at it. Outside of that, if you do not have an e-commerce planner, I want to encourage you to grab one. You can go to www.myecomplanner.com. Again, www.myecomplanner.com to grab your e-commerce planner. The digital planner is going up today so that you will have that. And you can grab that and fill it in if you want to do this online versus writing it out. I prefer writing things out. I know that there is some scientific proof around the stick-to-itiveness of writing things out. So I do want to encourage you to get a planner, and I want to encourage you to stay focused in your e-commerce business. I'm wishing you much success, much luck on your e-commerce journey. Join us tomorrow as we prepare for the month of April and plan for the activities associated with April. And with that being said, my name is Nicole Whitlock, and we're going to say goodbye for now. Bye, y'all.